Han Day sat at his console, watching lines of signals flicker across the screen. He had noticed strange patterns for weeks. Every time a deep space probe passed Earth, something unusual happened. Signals appeared and vanished too quickly to follow. Something about humans seemed to confuse even the most advanced systems. He reported it, but colleagues shrugged. Humans were unpredictable, but no one feared them. Meanwhile, far beyond the Milky Way, the galaxy's oldest species gathered. They were ancient, their history stretching beyond the lifetimes of stars. They spoke in calm tones, their thoughts measured, yet a tension lingered. Records showed Earth as a place of anomaly, a planet where patterns failed. They remembered humans surviving disasters, wars, and disease that should have wiped them out. Each time, humans persisted, changed outcomes, and adapted in ways that did not make sense. They were unpredictable. That was dangerous to civilizations that relied on order. Back on Earth, Han Day called Park Jun and Lee Sion. They were specialists in alien communications and deep space observation. Together, they analyzed old probe data. Hidden warnings in alien languages appeared, describing humans as anomalies, impossible to predict. Kim Ara, a former military analyst, explained why humans unnerved aliens. Fear did not break them. Instead, humans adapted, fought back, and learned. It was a behavior unknown in the galaxy. The oldest species had never seen it before. On a quiet night, a small alien scout ship entered Earth's orbit. Its engines failed, and it drifted toward the planet. Yoon Hae, in charge of recovery, organized teams to retrieve the ship. Humans approached cautiously, with tools, supplies, and respect. Weapons were unnecessary. They had seen the scouts panic. Choi Rin worked on translations, interpreting the aliens' fear and hesitation. It was not hostility. It was understanding that humans were different in a way they could not fully grasp. Inside the scout ship, the alien crew shivered at the sight of humans. They had expected weapons, traps, or submission. Instead, humans offered help. Han Day explained repairs. Park Jun and Lee Sion demonstrated tools, and Kim Ara and Yoon Hae coordinated teams. Humans adapted quickly, asking questions, changing methods, and solving problems efficiently. Every action surprised the aliens. Humans were not controlled by fear, they used it. To grow stronger, the alien leader spoke carefully through Choi Rin's translations. It said humans had been feared for centuries. Their unpredictability and ability to survive were unmatched. When the galaxy tried to predict human behavior, outcomes defied expectations. Something inhuman existed in humans, not a monster, but a force of persistence. Humans could change the course of events simply by refusing to give up. Over the following days, the aliens observed humans working together. Han Day explained history. Humans had survived wars, natural disasters, and pandemics that should have ended them. Each survival reshaped probabilities, unknowingly altering galactic outcomes. Lee Sion highlighted that humans did not hide weaknesses, but used them to adapt and grow stronger. Kim Ira added that the Inhuman spark could teach ancient civilizations to adapt and innovate. Yoon Hae guided aliens through Earth's systems, showing coordination, empathy, and fast problem-solving. The alien crew began to understand. Humans were not threats in the usual sense. Their unpredictability was a creative force. Choi Rin emphasized the honesty of human emotions, showing care and intent in every action. The aliens realized fear had guided their avoidance of Earth, but they now saw humans as builders and collaborators. As repairs finished, the alien ship prepared to leave. They expressed cautious respect, acknowledging the inhuman spark they had long feared. Han Day and the team watched as the ship departed. Humanity had proven itself not through conquest, but through persistence, cooperation, and openness. The oldest species reflected from afar, recognizing that humans had shown a power unfamiliar to them: resilience, creativity, and the ability to adapt. Earth had stepped into the galaxy as a force of transformation, not as conquerors, but as builders and changers. The inhuman spark, once feared, was now admired. Humans had demonstrated that persistence and cooperation could influence the galaxy profoundly. Ancient civilizations observed and learned. Humanity's journey into the galaxy had truly begun, reminding all that change and adaptation could shape the future. Park Jun and Lee Xian worked late into the night. The alien data they recovered from the abandoned probe was unlike anything they had seen. Codes and patterns ran in strange sequences, written in multiple ancient languages. Some parts were warnings. Others seemed like calculations, predictions of behavior. All pointed to humans as unpredictable. The probe had been abandoned for centuries, yet it still carried the echoes of fear. Chimera joined them. She had spent years studying alien encounters and understood the significance of these warnings. The galaxy's oldest species watches humans closely, she said. They do not avoid planets lightly. Something about humans confuses them, even terrifies them. Park Jun adjusted the screen. Patterns shifted and changed. Each attempt to understand human behavior failed in the alien data. Every time the aliens tried to predict humans, the outcomes were impossible. Lee Xian frowned. It is not just fear. They do not hate humans. They are confused. Humans do not follow the rules that govern life elsewhere. Chimera nodded. They survive. They adapt. They create solutions no one expects. That is why humans are anomalies. That is why they are avoided. Meanwhile, Han Day noticed something else in the data. Signals in the probe were faint but repeated. They were alerts, warnings of something that humans could not understand yet. He tried to decode them. Every time he thought he was close, the patterns shifted. It was as if the probe had a mind of its own, responding to human thought, changing predictions, always staying one step ahead. The team gathered around the table, spreading maps and diagrams. Old records from the probe showed humans surviving events that should have destroyed them. Natural disasters, plagues, wars, all survived against impossible odds. It was not strength alone. Humans used intelligence, creativity, and collaboration to change the outcomes. Each event was recorded, each survival noted. The galaxy had watched, and every time humans endured, predictions failed. Chimera explained further. Other species under threat often collapse, fight among themselves, or retreat. Humans do the opposite. They organize, innovate, and keep moving forward. That is what confuses the galaxy. They cannot calculate humans. They cannot contain humans. They do not understand why humans persist. Lee Xian tapped on the screen, showing ancient illustrations. Early human history was filled with events that should have ended the species. Massive floods, plagues, ice ages. Each time, humans survived. The galaxy recorded these events as anomalies. Every survival was a lesson, Lee Xian said. Humans changed the rules simply by existing. Park Jun added, it is not only survival. It is the ability to adapt and teach each other. Humans share knowledge, work in teams, and plan for the future. Other species fail to do this under stress. Humans thrive. That is the inhuman quality the galaxy fears. Yunhei joined the team with new information. She had accessed another layer of the probe's recordings. Holographic sequences showed humans interacting with early alien observers who visited Earth. The humans were curious, not afraid. They asked questions, studied the visitors, and adapted to their technologies. No other species had ever done this. Humans learned, modified, and changed the course of interactions. Even without realizing it, they influenced galactic events. Choi Rin translated more of the alien data. Emotional patterns in the recordings revealed that the oldest species experienced confusion, surprise, and hesitation around humans. They did not respond with aggression because they sensed humans were not typical predators. Instead, humans were forces of change. They could survive and create, making them unpredictable and difficult to control. As the team worked, the probe data revealed a timeline of human interactions that shocked them. Humans had unknowingly altered probabilities in ways that affected not just Earth, but distant star systems. Trade routes, communication networks, and alliances had shifted because of human persistence. The galaxy's oldest species had been cautious because humans represented a variable too large to ignore. Kim Era summarized the findings. The galaxy has avoided Earth because humans do not act like any known species. They survive, adapt, and shape events beyond their understanding. The oldest species fears the unpredictability more than anything. It is not hate, it is caution. They cannot calculate humans. Park Jun leaned back. So humans are dangerous, but not in the way we think. They are dangerous because they cannot be predicted, because they persist, create, and adapt. They are inhuman not in violence, but in potential. Li Xian nodded. This is why contact has been avoided. Any attempt to engage could trigger reactions that change outcomes in ways the galaxy cannot anticipate. Humans are a force, not a threat in the normal sense. Han Day looked at the data again. We need to be careful, but we also need to understand humans. Our species is unlike any other. If we can understand ourselves, we can interact with the galaxy safely. The team worked through the night, decoding the warnings, studying ancient records, and mapping human influence on galactic events. They understood why the oldest species kept its distance. Humans were not monsters, but anomalies. Unpredictable, persistent, and creative. A species that could survive, adapt, and alter the galaxy without knowing it. That was the force the galaxy feared. By dawn, the team had compiled a full report. They presented it to authorities, explaining that humans were unique and powerful in ways no one had realized. The galaxy's oldest species avoided Earth not out of hate or malice, but because humans were forces that could not be calculated, contained, or predicted. Humanity's persistence, intelligence, and cooperation were what made them inhuman in the eyes of the galaxy. The report concluded with a warning and advice. Humans must learn about themselves, understand their capabilities, and prepare for inevitable contact. The galaxy watched, and when humans acted, they would not simply survive, they could reshape outcomes far beyond Earth. The oldest species avoided Earth because humans were not just another civilization. They were a variable, a force of change, and a reminder that the galaxy's oldest minds could not control everything. The alien scout ship drifted silently over Earth's atmosphere. Systems failing, it was forced to land in a remote area. The humans approached with caution. Han Day and his team were ready. They had prepared vehicles, tools, and supplies to assist without threat. Park Jun and Li Xian guided the initial approach, ensuring the aliens felt no danger. Kim Ara and Yoon Hae organized teams to observe from a safe distance while still being ready to help. Choi Rin focused on emotional communication, interpreting alien hesitation and fear. Inside the ship, the alien crew shivered. They were not afraid of humans because of weapons, but because of something else, something inhuman that humans carried within. They had seen humans survive impossible events and adapt in ways they could not calculate. They had observed human history from afar, but now, seeing humans up close, their instincts told them that humans were unlike any species they had ever encountered. The humans moved slowly, carefully, demonstrating nothing but assistance. Han Day showed tools for repairs, while Park Jun and Lee Seon explained how the ship's damaged systems could be restored. Kim Era and Yoon Hae directed teams to help with equipment, supplies, and logistics. Choi Rin translated emotional cues, showing the aliens that humans acted with honesty and care. The alien leader spoke through Choi Rin's translation. Its voice trembled slightly. "We have watched your species for centuries. We have feared you, yet we do not fully understand you. You persist where others would fail. You survive when prediction says you should not. This is not fear of violence. It is confusion at your nature." Han Bei nodded and gestured toward the ship. "We do not wish to harm. We wish to understand and help. We learn from challenges and help each other. Our persistence is our strength. It is how we survive." Over the next few days, the humans worked together with the alien crew. Repairs were slow but precise. Each human action reflected cooperation, problem-solving, and creativity. Park Jun and Lee Seon modified tools when the original instructions did not fit. Kim Ara coordinated logistics, ensuring everyone had a role. Yoon Hae managed schedules and teams, maximizing efficiency. Choi Rin translated and explained human behaviors, showing the aliens that humans acted with consistent intent. The alien crew began to relax. Their fear was replaced with cautious curiosity. They watched as humans approached problems methodically, learning, adapting, and improving. Each day, the aliens saw something new. Humans improvising, collaborating, and persisting in ways no other species had shown them. The leader spoke again. "We have never encountered a species like yours. You are not predators hiding in plain sight. You do not seek to dominate through fear or strength. Instead, you endure, adapt, and create. This is what the galaxy fears. Your persistence is a force we cannot calculate, a variable that changes outcomes without intention." Han Dae and the team listened carefully. "We survive by working together, by learning from mistakes, and by creating solutions. We are not perfect, but we do not give up. That is how we have survived for so long." Through Choi Rin, the aliens shared their own observations. Long ago, when they first observed humans, they predicted outcomes using advanced algorithms. Each time, humans defied predictions. They survived extinction events, natural disasters, and conflicts with resourcefulness and determination. They adapted not only to survive, but to thrive. The aliens admitted that human history had altered the galaxy, without humans even realizing it. The humans demonstrated their capabilities further. They set up communication systems, repaired engines, and shared knowledge. They acted openly, showing no deception. Every repair, every adjustment, reflected intelligence, patience, and teamwork. The aliens began to understand that the inhuman spark they feared was not a weapon or threat, but an unstoppable force of creativity and resilience. Kim Era explained to the aliens that humans faced challenges directly. They did not hide weakness or pretend to be invulnerable. Instead, they used what they had, worked with what they knew, and learned from mistakes. The aliens began to see patterns of consistency and honesty, and their confusion slowly gave way to understanding. Yoon Hae guided the alien crew through Earth protocols, showing how humans coordinated in times of crisis. The aliens observed efficiency, empathy, and quick adaptation. Choi Rin continued to explain emotional cues, translating subtle gestures and tones that expressed intent. The humans' behavior showed a balance of patience, cooperation, and innovation that no other species had displayed. By the end of the repair period, the alien ship was operational. The crew expressed cautious gratitude. They admitted that humans were different from any species they had encountered. Their persistence, creativity, and ability to adapt were forces that the galaxy had long feared and avoided. The humans had shown that their inhuman spark was not destructive, but constructive, a force capable of reshaping events positively. Han Day, Park Jun, Lee Xian, Kim Era, Yoon Hae, and Choi Rin watched as the aliens prepared to leave. The humans had demonstrated that persistence, collaboration, and adaptability could bridge gaps between species. The aliens' perspective had shifted. They no longer saw humans as a threat, but as a species to be respected and understood. As the ship lifted off, the alien leader spoke through Choi Rin. "We have feared your species because we could not predict it. You are not a threat through violence, but through your nature. Your persistence changes outcomes. Your creativity alters paths we thought fixed. You are a force the galaxy has avoided because you cannot be controlled. But now we understand. We will reconsider our stance. We will watch with respect, not fear." The humans felt a quiet pride. Their approach had proven effective. They had faced the unknown with patience, intelligence, and openness. They had changed alien perceptions not through weapons or dominance, but through demonstration of their true nature. The aliens departed, carrying a new understanding of humanity back into the galaxy. The scout ship disappeared over the horizon, leaving humans and aliens alike with a new perspective. Humans had survived and adapted once again, proving that their inhuman spark was a source of strength, resilience, and constructive power. The galaxy had taken notice. Humanity's presence was no longer a variable of fear, but a variable of potential. The journey of contact had begun, and humans had shown that persistence, cooperation, and creativity could redefine relationships with even the oldest species. The news of first contact spread quickly across the galaxy. Ancient species observed Earth's actions with curiosity and fear. Fleets withdrew, orders were sealed, and communications were monitored more closely than ever. The oldest species had finally confirmed what their records had suggested for centuries. Humans were different, unpredictable, and potentially powerful. This revelation caused unease among civilizations that had relied on predictability and control. On Earth, Han Day and his team continued to study the data from the scout ship and the probe. Park Jun and Lee Xian analyzed alien communications, trying to understand the galaxy's response. Kim Era coordinated with global authorities to monitor alien movements. Yoon Hae and Choi Rin worked on human strategies for interaction, ensuring that Earth remained ready for any unforeseen events. The alien records revealed why humans had been avoided for so long. Humans survived events that were calculated to end civilizations. Each survival was not only an anomaly, but a ripple that changed probabilities across star systems. The galaxy feared humans not because of malice, but because humans were variables that could not be predicted or contained. Han Day studied the patterns and realized that humans had unknowingly influenced galactic history. Their persistence, creativity, and cooperation had altered outcomes in distant systems. Trade routes, alliances, and even conflicts were affected by human actions. The galaxy had underestimated the impact of a single species with resilience and intelligence. Park Jun presented findings to a council of Earth's leaders. Humans are not like any other species. Our persistence changes the balance of events. We need to prepare for cautious observation from the galaxy. They watch because they fear unpredictability, not because they want war. Lee Xian added, "The oldest species has avoided Earth because humans cannot be calculated. We must continue to act openly, honestly, and collaboratively. Our strength lies in cooperation and creativity." Kim Era emphasized that humans could inspire the galaxy. The inhuman spark within us is not violence or destruction. It is resilience and adaptability. Other species can learn from this. Our actions show that survival and cooperation can create change far beyond our world. Yoon Hae coordinated simulations to demonstrate Earth's capabilities in responding to threats. repairing technology, and maintaining communication. The simulations impressed alien observers who had watched from afar. They began to understand humans were not aggressive by nature, but capable of remarkable problem-solving and leadership. Choi Rin focused on communication with alien species. She translated intentions, emotions, and gestures to show that humans acted consistently and honestly. The oldest species observed that humans were predictable in values, but unpredictable in methods, which made them unique in the galaxy. They began to reconsider their avoidance of Earth. As Earth's teams prepared for continued contact, the galaxy reacted. Some civilizations withdrew entirely, fearing that humans could change outcomes unintentionally. Others approached cautiously, hoping to learn from human adaptability. The oldest species remained distant but attentive, reassessing their assumptions about humanity. Han Day and his team realized that humans had a responsibility. The inhuman spark was a power, and with it came influence. Their actions could shape galactic events in ways never imagined. They needed to act with wisdom, collaboration, and openness. By doing so, humans could demonstrate that their persistence and creativity were forces for positive change. The alien records showed a history of failed predictions. Every attempt to calculate human behavior had ended in surprise. Humans survived disasters, outwitted challenges, and adapted to every environment. The oldest species feared this because their sense of control was threatened. Humans were a force that could not be contained. Park John observed, "The galaxy fears change." Humans represent change at its most unpredictable and creative. That is why we have been avoided. Now we have a chance to show that change can be constructive. Li Xian added, "We must continue to demonstrate cooperation, creativity, and integrity. Humans are strongest when we act together and remain open to learning and adapting. This is our true power." Kim Era explained that the inhuman spark could guide civilizations that had grown stagnant. The oldest species has survived for eons, but humans remind them that adaptation and resilience are necessary. Our actions can teach even ancient species to embrace change and survive in ways they may have forgotten. Yoon Hae and Choi Rin worked to ensure all communications were transparent. Alien species were beginning to understand that humans did not act with hidden agendas. Their unpredictability came from creativity and problem-solving, not deception. This realization was slowly reshaping the galaxy's perception of Earth. By the end of the observation period, the oldest species had reached a conclusion. Humans were forces of change, not threats. Their persistence and creativity altered outcomes in ways that the galaxy could not predict. Earth had proven that it could act responsibly while displaying the inhuman spark. Humans had stepped into the galaxy with caution, wisdom, and cooperation. The team on Earth watched as alien fleets adjusted their positions, no longer retreating, but observing with respect. Humans had demonstrated that they could influence galactic events positively. The oldest species recognized that their fear was not about hostility, but about unpredictability. Now they began to see humans as collaborators and innovators, capable of teaching even ancient civilizations. The value of resilience and adaptation. Earth had become a symbol of possibility. The inhuman spark was not destructive. It was constructive. Humans had survived, adapted, and influenced the galaxy through cooperation and creativity. Their presence reminded ancient species that change was necessary, and that even the oldest civilizations could learn from those they once feared. Humanity had begun a journey into the galaxy, not as conquerors, but as catalysts for growth, adaptation, and understanding. The galaxy watched as Earth's humans continued their work with the alien scout crew. Repairs were complete, and the alien ship was ready for departure. Yet the humans did not simply send it away. They offered assistance, guidance, and resources. They showed that their intentions were honest and cooperative. reflecting the inhuman spark that had puzzled the oldest species for centuries. Han Dae, Park Jun, Lee Seon, Kim Ara, Yoon Hae, and Choi Rin coordinated every detail. They demonstrated to the aliens how humans could work together across nations and cultures. Each action was deliberate and thoughtful, emphasizing collaboration, problem-solving, and trust. The alien observers noticed everything, carefully analyzing every gesture and decision. The aliens were cautious at first. They had avoided Earth for millennia, fearing the unpredictable force humans carried. Yet now, they saw humans acting openly, without aggression, using persistence and intelligence to solve challenges. The humans did not hide, deceive, or manipulate. Their actions were guided by honesty, cooperation, and creativity. An elder alien delegate approached Han Dae. Through Choi Rin, it spoke slowly, carefully choosing its words. "We have avoided your world for centuries because your species is different. We have feared your persistence, your adaptability, and your creativity. We have feared the force that changes outcomes simply by existing. We see now that your inhuman spark is constructive. You build, repair, and help. You do not dominate. You transform." Han Dae nodded. "We survive by helping each other, by creating solutions, and by learning from challenges. Our persistence is our strength. It is how we live and grow. We do not use it to harm." The alien observed humans repairing and organizing resources, noticing that every action was thoughtful. Tools were used carefully, tasks coordinated efficiently, and communication was clear. Humans adapted when challenges arose, improving methods and sharing knowledge. The alien realized that the inhuman spark it had feared was not violent or destructive, but a force of creation and collaboration. Park Jun explained human history to the alien delegates. He described how humans survived disasters, wars, and environmental challenges by working together, adapting, and innovating. Each survival had influenced outcomes beyond Earth, shaping galactic events without humans even realizing it. The aliens began to understand the depth of human influence. Lee Seon added that humans face problems openly. They do not hide weakness, but use it to learn and grow. The aliens had feared unpredictability, but now they saw it as intelligence and resilience. Humans could adapt to anything, and that adaptability was a strength the galaxy could respect and learn from. Kim Era emphasized that humans' persistence could inspire ancient civilizations. The oldest species has survived for eons, but humans remind them that adaptation is necessary. Our inhuman spark can show that even the most established societies can learn, change, and grow. Yoon Hae guided the alien crew through Earth systems and strategies for problem solving. The aliens observed efficiency, empathy, and collaboration. They noted that humans could organize themselves in crises, communicate effectively, and act with patience and understanding. This behavior reflected a unique form of intelligence and power that had been misinterpreted as threat. Choi Rin continued to interpret human emotions for the aliens. She showed that care, honesty, and intent were consistent across all human actions. The unpredictability of humans was not malice but creativity and adaptation. The oldest species had feared these traits, but now they began to admire them. As the alien ship prepared to leave, the delegates expressed gratitude. "We feared your species because you cannot be predicted. We have avoided Earth because your persistence alters outcomes. But now we see that your force is constructive. Your actions show intelligence, creativity, and cooperation. You transform, and you do so without harm. This changes our perception. We will no longer avoid you, but observe and learn from you." Han Dae and his team felt a quiet sense of accomplishment. Humans had proven that their persistence and collaboration could bridge the gap between species. They had demonstrated that the inhuman spark was a force of creation, not destruction. Capable of influencing the galaxy in profound ways, the alien ship lifted off smoothly, leaving behind a transformed understanding. The oldest species reflected on what they had seen. Humans were forces of change, not threats. Their resilience, intelligence, and cooperation had reshaped ancient perceptions. The galaxy recognized that the inhuman spark was not a danger, but an opportunity for learning, growth, and adaptation. Earth had stepped confidently into the galaxy. Humans were not conquerors or aggressors. They were builders, creators, and changers. The inhuman spark, once feared, was now a symbol of hope and capability. Humanity had survived, adapted, and influenced events far beyond their own world. They had proven that persistence, creativity, and collaboration could reshape relationships with even the oldest civilizations. The galaxy watched, learning from humans. Earth had become a model for adaptation, cooperation, and constructive change. Humans had shown that unpredictability could be harnessed positively and that resilience was a force to be respected. The oldest species admitted that their avoidance of Earth had been driven by fear of change. Now they saw humans as teachers, innovators, and collaborators. As the first contact concluded, humanity looked to the stars with renewed purpose. The inhuman spark within them was understood, respected, and accepted. Humans had proven that persistence and creativity could influence not only their world, but the galaxy itself. The journey had begun, and Earth had stepped into the cosmos as a force of transformation, cooperation, and hope, ready to inspire and reshape the galaxy through its unique and powerful spirit.